A very warm welcome to this night where I want to share maybe one of the most interesting teachings that I have come across with the Buddha. So this is from a little book that I have I've got as a present, a gift from some Buddhist friends. And this is called dependent origination. So if you suffer from your relationships and the things and people that you come into contact with your thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. And when I describe results and telling about results, it's a whole lot of different things that is described in a way as your daily life. So if you're dissatisfied and unhappy with this daily life, then this dependent origination is really a lesson to dig deeper into. And it really doesn't matter if you listen to maybe one of the other lessons I've made few days or a few weeks ago. It all described the same areas and themes. So when you listen to it again and again, it will implement in your subconscious mind, and you will remember this, and things will start to change in your life around you. So if you might have the experience that a lot of things are falling apart around you or things are amiss, then just try to take a step back and retreat from this, and then observe that when a lot of things are falling apart, it's because something new is just in the horizon to arise, and maybe something that you have been putting into practice and have actually had effort with in a good way. So now that things that you used to do are falling apart and it feels not secure, that is a sign that something good and new is ahead of you. So don't lose the faith or the persistence with these teachings, and being mindful and aware and in gratitude, and don't lose the momentum. Just take a step back, and you will come to this realization that everything is as it's supposed to be, and you have to just sit, take a break, and remember this. So the meditation where you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth, it stops the drama and the wheel of becoming, as it's described in Buddhist text, and the teaching that I have got passed on from monks and nuns personally. So the central point in this Buddhist doctrine about dependent origination is that there is nothing that is not dependent on something else. So nothing can arise on its own accord independently. So let's say that you have some issues around customers or clients or people in your relationships. The problems, they are not arising themselves. They come to you because you are in contact with other people in this kind of level. So be aware how much you have contact with other people and how much of this is necessary for your happiness. So for example, the lamp remains burning because of the wick, and in turn is dependent upon oxygen, temperature, etc. Likewise, the wick is the result of twining strands of cotton together, and the flame is the combination of the elements of oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. So dependent origination means that dependent on that this becomes. Simple examples are that being clouds, rain falls. That being rain, the road becomes slippery. There being a slippery road, a man falls, and due to his falling he is injured. Conversely, if there were no clouds, there would be no rain. There would be no rain. There would be no slippery road. And if there were no slippery road, there would be no accident arising from someone's falling on it. So all the known science are concerned with this process of thought. They only trace events backwards and forwards in the causal chain. In botany, for instance, a growing plant depends on suitable manure, etc. In physics, an engine depends on fuel, e.g. oxygen and coal. There can be no first cause because each cause becomes an effect and each effect a cause. Hence, a first cause is quite inconceivable. As Bertrand Russell said, there is no need to suppose a first cause at all, which is due to the poverty of imagination. So the things that you can imagine in your life through your thoughts in your mind, the life stream flows on ad infinitum so long as it's fed by the muddy water of craving, hatred, and delusion. So this is very important because craving, hate, and delusion is the three root causes of your unhappiness and problems, suffering. It's difficult to see the beginning of things, but even more difficult to see an end to all things. Eternity is a concept of which virtually defies human imagination. Knowledge grows in proportion to our understanding correctly such causal processes. The great Buddhist commentator Buddhaghosa wrote, dependent origination is so deep that it has fallen into the middle of the ocean when I am trying to explain it. It explains the cycle of lives and how man accumulates karma and is reborn through the round of existence despite depicted in the wheel of becoming. A wheel of 12 spokes denoting the 12th link of the causal process. So here is described as a very interesting investigation with yourself and your troubles and problems in life, and how you retreat from them is these 12 dependents. So the first one is dependent, the first and the second one, dependent on ignorance. So ignorance is not knowing about the Eightfold Path, the 5 precepts and the 4 noble truths. So the ignorance about this, when you have ignorance around this life, and you don't know about the 4 noble truths, the Eightfold Path, and the simple way of why life is like it is, intentional activities arise. Dependent on intentional activities, consciousness arises. So consciousness is where we think, and the subconscious is what we do think when we do things without thinking, because it's already a habit, and a lot of the habits that we have are unconscious, so that we are programmed doing things that we don't even like to do, or don't even know that how we got to do this in this way, because it's a deep-rooted pattern that we have got passed on from paradigms and people around us and our karma. So the fourth is dependent on consciousness. Mental and physical phenomena arise. The fifth one is dependent on mental and physical phenomena. The sixth sense arises. So, and through the sixth sense, you come into contact with things. So the sixth is dependent on the sixth senses. Contact arises. 7 is dependent on the contact, feeling arises. And number 8, dependent on feeling, craving arises. Dependent on craving, clinging arises. Dependent on clinging, the process of becoming arises. And 11, dependent on becoming, birth arises. Dependent on birth, decay, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair arise. Thus arises this whole mass of suffering. Thus it explained the phenomena of past, present, and future lives. Every kind of mixed action performed in a previous life may be termed an active life. Due to this, a relinking takes place between the past life and the present on, resulting in consciousness, mental and physical phenomena. The sixth sense and contact, which is relevant object, results in pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feelings. After birth, subsequent feeling leads to attachment, which in turn paves the way to future birth. This sequence may be divided into 3 sections: past actions and present effect. Present action and present effect. And present action and future effect. So again, the traveling is not the cause of the road, nor is any part of cause of the next path. With regard to dependent origination, therefore which one link present, the remaining 11 links must also be present. The chain of causation. being just a convenient expression. But just as a real wheel touches the ground at one point, so to this wheel, which is 12 spoke impinges on our live stream at just one state. Each link is necessary for ensuring the live stream continuity, and breaking one link will break the whole structure. Just as broken or missing spoke in a real wheel would tend to weaken and eventually cause its collapse. And this is just what we should try to do as the purpose of meditation, is to cause the collapse of this wheel of becoming. They can be done by severing any of this link. Its links. The easiest link where this can be achieved is either the first one that is of ignorance, or the 7 that are of feeling. So the very interesting part in this, as I understand it, is that when you understand this dependent origination, it's easier for you to detach, and the detachment comes when you meditate, because you stop the linking from having thoughts, feelings, action, and results. That transaction between you and something else creates thoughts, consciousness. You come into contact with your senses that are based on desire, something that is pleasant or unpleasant. And when you come into contact with other people through your senses, then the feeling starts to arise, and the clinging arises, and then the suffering also arises. And that is what you want to avoid. So in meditation, when you're retreating, you're stepping back from your issues and problems in life. When you practice, then you can neutralize your thoughts. You can just be the observer of your imagination or your thoughts or feelings, action and behavior, without clinging to it, and therefore you have disconnected yourself with the suffering and the issues. And that is what is going on when you use meditation as a practice, and you become more and more aware of the daily life. You spend 24 hours, and in those 24 hours from dusk to dawn, as I was sharing about, you focus on your 24 hours. And if you have to earn money to have your life sustained in a level where you are right now, you choose to have right livelihood, where you can practice this while you are at work. So you can be mindful in what you're doing the 24 hours a day. This is a very, very important message and teaching, and you can use your time only on this for the rest of your life, studying this every day. And this is the true liberation of the mind from suffering, and body from suffering. And as I said in the previous lesson, where I shared from dusk to dawn, this could be a lesson that you listen to for 90 days, one day at a time, and then you implement what I just shared, and you reduce the contact to the things that you don't like and to the things that you really like. Reduce the contact so that you step by step create a more peaceful life with more calmness of your mind, less conflicts and less drama, because of you shutting down your senses for a while. Whenever it's possible, then you will definitely see that something will change for the better in your state of being, your mind, body, and also the people that you spend time with throughout the day. And just take a little step back each moment you can and reduce the contact. And then use this as a lesson, a practice, and take some notes. What happened when I just was alone for myself the most of the day? What kind of thoughts came to me? Did I experience less or more drama when I involved with other people? Huge realization to look at this. So thank you very much for your investigation of yourself, listening to this inspire me to share more, being in the moment, and remember this while I'm passing it on to you, because I know you're sitting there and you can use this and implement it and reduce this huge contact we have with all kinds of things in this world. Just shut it down one by one, and experience what is going to happen when you do that. Send me a message or just comment, so that other people can benefit from this. And then see you and have a very great night, day, wherever you are in the world. And remember to study yourself every day and share this with your Dharma friends.